Okay. Good morning. Hello. It's Friday. And that is a good. That is a good. Good morning. Hello. I have to set everything up, so give me a moment. I'm trying emojis in my Twitch title for the first time. This is a monumental day. This is monumental. It really is. Okay, what do we... Okay. Mart, wow, you're the first one in here. Good morning, Mart. How are you? It's been a while. It's been a while. I was worried about you. Now, I'm gonna need a little bit more from you. Because I'll be honest, the Mart content's been getting a little stale. So I need more from you. Can you do that for me? Okay, hang on. I'm almost set up here. Okay. Okay, I think we're good. I think we are Gucci here. There we are. There we are. Okay, so what have I done here? Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Mart. Let me see. There are some things I think I need to check off this list that I did. Some of these are fixed, I know. I think, actually, I think maybe all of these are fixed. What about, I need to check some other ones, so I know, like, I'll say trading to / from container from inventories is fixed. I did that one. I think I need to check world item. I'll say pickup world item ISMC. I think I need to test that one. Markinth, morning. Oh yeah, he's back. I'm back, baby. I never left. I've been here the whole time. Do. Boo. Check allowed storage settings. We do that. That's done. Right click on container inventory. Should grab from the container even if the player inventory is not shown. Yeah, we should do that. Let's start up here. What do we got? Oh, we have a meadows biome here. Okay, there's a little entrance chunk right around the corner though, so we should be good. I've been watching in the darks. I meant do. Okay, thank you, Mart. Thank you. Yes. Okay, so a little testy test here. A little testy test, yeah. So I was saying that, like, right click I should grab it from the inventory. Yeah, that does nothing. What is it supposed? Is it supposed to do nothing? Which one is happening here? Okay, so we're just gonna use the item. And I was saying what now? Right click on container inventory should grab from container even if player inventory is not shown. Now, see, I get that, but like, that was for Colonist inventories. But the thing is, like, how would you use a character, an item from a colonist's inventory for them? Like, I don't know if I fully agree with this. I'll say should question mark, or should right clicking an item in target inventory in it's specifically colonist inventory. For container, oh, this is just for container. Yeah, just for container, yes. For container, yes. For colonist, no. I think I would want that to be use, right? So you can, like, that's how you would equip things on the colonist. Or, like, if you had a health potion or some food, you would, like, eat it. And I know a lot of people are probably going to get that one messed up. Grab a colonist here. Join, show me your inventory, sir. Since then, I want you to add a Happy Land biome to your game, so please can you add it? Mart, I was just saying I need more from you. The content's getting a little stale. You've said that like a million times now. I need something new from you. What do you got for me? What do you got for me? Oh, it does. Wait, who did that? Oh. He did use it. He just moved. Now, I should probably... I need an interaction thing. Don't move. Make colonist not move when eating and they got interacted with. Yeah, so it should block movement there. Like, I still want the interaction to happen. Mainly going to focus on rounding out the inventory things today, I think. I don't. What other things do I need to test here, though? So let's. I'm going to fill up my inventory. Fill me up. So if I took the basic wood. Wait, what? So I don't have the split drops. Okay, I can't take it. Okay, so that actually works. That actually works. Now, what if I did something like that, where I have 2 non-full stacks? It still doesn't do it. So I feel like I should take as much as possible. And I think this is on the actual... I think that's on the interactable ISMC. But let's start from... World item ISMC. Interact. No, I guess not. So I guess it would be here. We just add to inventory. Where do I check the... Oh, can entirely fit in inventory. Why? What is that? What was that? Get... I should get amount that can fit in inventory. If that's greater than 0, it's interactable. So this is really just if any can fit in inventory. And I shouldn't pop the instance item. And like, we're gonna be like recalling this basically. Then item should just be get instance item. inventory. Okay, so then we do int 32. Well, I need to check if this get amount that can fit in inventory is greater than or equal to the item quantity, then it can entirely fit. And I want to put that into a boolean to be explanatory. Bool b can entirely fit in. I'll just say can entirely fit. I think that's good enough. Can entirely fit. If it can entirely fit, we will need to remove it. Oh, this already returns whether it would entirely fit. So B can entirely fit. I just changed that yesterday. If B can entirely fit, that means I need to remove the old instance. I need to remove the instance, not the old instance, but the instance from the world. So I think we do need to do the pop instance item here. Come on, there we go. Pop instance item. I don't need to return it at this point because we already have it. And entirely fit. Oh, that needs to be guarded too. Yeah, if the can entirely fit. Yep, okay. So I think that, I think we just run live coding there and we'll just recheck. That should be stacking it into my open slots. Potentially could be doing nothing. Potentially could be doing nothing, which is intentional. Very intentional. Okay, are we good? Okay, so I have 2 slots here. Wood stacks up to 20. 20 is the max stack size. Don't ask me how these are higher than that. I'm a god, basically. So when I pick this up, which is 250, it should just fill out these 2. And let me actually, I'm going to just change those so make them easier. So E, okay, it filled out those 2 and left it in the world. Perfect. Okay, I hit it again. Nothing happens. I hit it again, I pick it up. Nice. Nice. And so that should stack into, this 20 should stack into both and then disappear. Beautiful. 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 Let me pin a message here. Okay. Okay, so that works. That works. What other inventory full scenarios do I need to handle? Probably I should handle the, like this scenario. Oh, I think it does actually. Does it already handle that? So that would, this one would be the interactable SMC. Yeah, I think I do check it somewhere. Yeah, can entirely. So this is also doing can entirely fit in inventory. But now I think add to inventory just works. But the thing for these environment item objects, like they don't have, I think I do need to do can entirely fit in inventory. Because it's not like I can have half a fucking sunflower sitting there. I think this one does need to entirely fit. Same with like the mushrooms or whatever. I think those ones do. Because like, the way it works is I roll the RNG for the loot when you like interact with the thing. Get RNG loot. That's what does that. And that doesn't like stick around, you know? Although, I suppose what could... Oh my god, you know what could happen? With the way I've written this, so I roll the RNG first, and that makes sense, to get the item. And then I check if the item can fit in the inventory. If it can't, I just end, you know, nothing happens. But like, there could be multiple items that go into the character's inventory, or like the multiple stacks of an, or not multiple stacks, multiple quantities of an item, right? Like if I had an inventory and there was only space for 2 sunflower seeds, and like the first click gave me 3, if I kept clicking, eventually I would get some RNG that gave me 2. I think that's what could happen right there, which is kind of silly. I wonder if I should use like the location as an RNG seed or something. That way it's deterministic. Would I want to do that? No, because for my respawn system, they are going to be reusing some of the spawn points. And so it's like when it respawns in the same location, it's going to have the same. Maybe I should use spawn time. I think I should use spawn time. To use spawn time as RNG seed so that this turns the same item every time until respawn. Yeah, I like that. That's good. I don't care about that right now, though. So I think that, and I do think, like, yeah, if it doesn't fit entirely in inventory, I think that works properly. I think that's the right move. Okay, where was I? Pick up world item ISMC. I think handle can fit in inventory scenarios, overflow. I think that all works now. I think that all work. Well, I guess I need to test now the... I can try pick up from area here. First I'll make it pink. Come on now. Okay, so give me... Let's just put... We'll just throw 20 in there. We can split that. So I am full. And so I can't take that. Beautiful. Okay, so now I have 15, 16, so I should take some of them. Yes, and I do. Beautiful, and it updated. Wow, that worked perfectly. Nice. It's working. Okay. Now, I guess I need to make sure that the colonists can do the same. Hi, what are you using to develop this game, and how much time did it take you so far? So this is Unreal Engine. I've spent about almost 3 years now of my... It's like 2.75 years of my free time on this game. Where did my mushrooms go? Shit, hang on. Did I leave those in a chest? Because these guys are running around looking for food. Oh, there's my chest. There it is. Oh no, my mushrooms. Where did they go? Let's grab a new seed where we can get some colonists actually in a forest. 587, 588. Okay, look at this seed. Oh, that's nice. I'm gonna spawn on the edge of a cliff, though. That looks so cool, though. Nice tall mountains there. Yep, I am very much on the side of a cliff right now. Yeah, so this is going to be kind of difficult to test. Because, oh my god. Yeah, so this is kind of a bad testing seed. But, gosh darn it, if it doesn't look cool. Gosh darn if it doesn't look cool. You tell me about your game? Looks awesome. Yeah, I can talk about the game for a little bit. This is a good seed to talk about the game. Let me fall off the edge here. See if I can actually land on some terrain. So So it's going to be an RPG Colony Sim Roguelite with procedural terrain, as you can see. The terrain will be destructible, and we will have AI-generated quests. So I think the first thing to look at is the world map here. Oh, I'm in a massive zone. So here's me. I'm only showing about a radius of this large, so each pixel on here is a terrain chunk. So there is one terrain chunk. So we got a radius of about four terrain chunks generated just for testing. I don't want to generate the whole world for testing, but I do want to generate the whole world for gameplay. Like, I want the whole world to be online and running at the same time, all the time. And so, that being said, like, I had to write my own ECS system to accomplish that. An ECS system is just an architecture for, like, efficiently running thousands and thousands of NPCs. It's like a data-driven architecture. So I'm using that. I think I probably have somewhere between 1,000 and 2,000 spawned at the moment of these guys. And the flow of the game is going to be something along the lines of when you start playing the game, you'll pick a class. There'll be several different classes to choose from. You know, I'm thinking something very similar to Vanilla WoW in terms of class design. And each class has a set of unique abilities, lots to choose from, right? It's not one of these games where you just have 4 abilities and an ultimate. Do you use some plugins for terrain generation? Nope, I did it all myself. I use compute shaders at the moment. And dynamic mesh components for the actual meshes. But you pick a class, your class has a bunch of abilities, you have a talent tree. The talent tree will be static for each run, but every couple levels while you're leveling up, you'll get a choice between like 3 different random abilities for your class. And you'll have to pick, and you'll have to create this build for your character. And hopefully each run will be different. Hopefully there's enough abilities in each class's toolkit that each run is different. And when you die, you start over at level 1. Now, as you're running through the world, you're recruiting colonists, you're building a colony, you're building up your colony. Your colonists will have moods and needs and traits and skills. You know, you might recruit a really good blacksmith colonist who can craft you really good gear. When you die, your colony will still be there when you come back. Now, I think I might do like a small time skip, and maybe your colony gets raided while you're gone. It gets attacked. And so you'll have to make sure that your colony is defended really well. It's set up for defense, so if you're gone, it can handle that. And your really good blacksmith doesn't die. And if he doesn't die, he'll be there when you get back. And he can craft you better gear than you would have had last run. So there's like a little form of meta progression there. I'll probably also have some currency for meta progression as well. Why does the leg go inside the train? Is it a collider issue? It's just the mantling settings on the ALS character. I mean, at the end of the day, it is a collision issue, but it's not like... It's just specifically for the mantling of the character that messes it up. Something I still need to fix. I'm not too worried about. So that's kind of like the flow of the game. Now we have the AI generate quest, and I can probably show one here. I'm gonna talk to this guy. This is Griffin Silverwind. I'm gonna generate a quest. So that's making an API request to the Gemini API right now. I had dumped my entire item database and everything spawned into the world into there, including this information on each character. So Griffin Silverwind is a 29-year-old male human warlock who is resourceful but fragile. Griffin was always a frail child, spending more time reading books and studying arcane lore than playing with other children. Griffin's knowledge of magic is his greatest asset. He uses his intellect and resourcefulness to overcome the challenges. Let's see what quest got generated for him. So we have Aetheric Echoes is the quest name. So this on the left here is like the quest panel, the quest journal entry, right? Ah, Nyx Bayer, that's my name. Good, I've been expecting you. I require your assistance. My research has led me to believe that a potent source of volatile magic energy has surfaced in the ruins of old Whisperwind Mill, just south of Whispering Woods. I call it etheric scintillation. I need someone to investigate and collect a sample. What is etheric scintillation? It's a manifestation of raw, volatile magic energy. Think of it as concentrated magical resonance, resonating on a frequency unlike anything. Why can't you go yourself? Alas, my constitution is lacking. Prolonged exposure to such potent energy would be detrimental to my health, possibly fatal. What kind of unwelcome attention are we talking about? Rumors speak of elements drawn to its power and stirrings from the long-buried dead. Be prepared for anything. And so what that gave me was like a JSON object that I told it to fill out. And I have like these different like quest objectives that it can choose from. So like explore Old Whisperwood Mill, obtain Aetheric Scintillation, and then talk to Griffin Silverwind. So those are my like quest objectives. And they're not really like super completable at the moment. I still need to do a lot more work on them. This is just kind of proof of concept at the moment. But what's cool is I have gotten it to like spawn things in the world. Like I have an array that it can just fill with some structs, some JSON objects, and it can pick classes from my database to spawn. And it's actually done that in the world, which is pretty cool. So yeah, we can accept the quest, and then now we have this quest. Yeah, just proof of concept at the moment. Can you tell me how you handle spawning this many NPCs? Just the spawning part of it? I mean, it's not any different how you would spawn any number of NPCs. You just spawn them. I mean, you just don't spawn all of them in one frame. And they're not actors. They're all vertex animated instant static meshes. It looks like they're running around looking for food. So they all got hungry, and there's like some mushrooms over here that looks like they picked up and started eating. I have dynamic tree chopping. It's another little thing here, so I can chop down low, and it'll actually edit the mesh at runtime wherever the axe connects to it. So I can chop it up there. I got some wood from that. And then I can continue chopping the second part. I mean in the whole world. You said you have plans for it to be multiplayer. Yes. And what's your question? Like, how do I spawn them? I mean, the spawning, there's nothing to the spawning part of it. Like, the spawning, you can just spawn them. It's not, there's nothing complicated about that. But are you asking, like, how I'm running them? Like, how are they running throughout the whole world? Because that's the more complicated part. And so, I mean, I guess I'll just talk about that for a little bit then. So, Unreal Engine has its own ECS system. ECS stands for Entity Component System. And it's just a data-driven architecture that tries to take advantage of cache locality on CPUs. And so, for those who don't know, like, arithmetic and calculations are actually incredibly fast on CPUs, and the slowest thing is actually accessing something from memory. So, like, reading pointers, right? And so, you have your RAM, which is physically far away from your CPU, and it takes a lot of time to access variables that exist in RAM. So what processors do is they have local caches. You have an L1 cache, L2 cache. You have these different cache registers that kind of do different things. Reading from those caches is like 10 times faster than reading from RAM. And what modern day CPUs try to do is whenever you read something from RAM, it'll take a whole cache line, which I think is like 64 bytes. It'll take whatever the nearest 64 bytes of stuff is on the RAM, and it'll move all of that, even though you don't need it, into your L1 cache, L2 cache, whatever cache, right? Whatever CPU cache. And so to take advantage of that, you need all of your data stored next to each other. And so you can't use any pointers or anything like that, right? And so that when the CPU takes that 64 bytes, that cache line, and moves it over to the processor cache, you can take advantage of that. And when you're looping over things, that's, if you've gotten all of that cache already over, it's very, very fast. It is like, I don't know what the magnitude of fastness is, but it's like that is where the juice comes from. Now I've kind of neglected some of that concept in favor of doing multi-threaded stuff. So for the most of my performance benefits, I think, are actually coming from running everything on the background thread. Like, I've rewritten a lot of Unreal Engine systems to behave on the background thread. A lot of them only want to run on the game thread. But a lot of my code is just running on the background thread. So all these guys, literally the only thing that's happening on the game thread for these guys that are visible is just moving them, is moving the instant static mesh. Everything else about them, like their behaviors, the calculation of what animation to play, the location that they should be at, all of that is happening on the background thread. And like, I'll turn around here, there's nothing there anymore, right? There's nothing there. But if I were to turn around now, there is stuff here. There are people here. If I turn back around, there's nothing there. So Frust I'm culling as well. So now I don't even need to move them, right? They don't need to be moved at all because I can't see them. So all I'm doing is just updating memory on the background thread. So that's how it works very efficiently. What's your music playlist? Bits and hits. It's right there in the player. So if the terrain is procedurally generated, then will it delete the terrain also when you so out of range? If you delete the same, okay, so here's what I'm doing about the terrain. So it's a great question because, yeah, that is one of the technical challenges that I have to handle. Yeah, this is about 15 kilometers and I'm only generating a radius of this big. How is that going to work, right? Let me pop over to the edge here. So that's a good example. So we see all these floating bits and bobs here, right? You see all these floating bits. So if I hit P, I can show the nav mesh. So you can see the shaded area is the nav mesh. The nav mesh knows where the terrain's going to be, even though the terrain's not there. And you might just think that, oh, the meshes are set to invisible. No, the meshes literally don't exist here. There is no mesh here, and that saves on memory. So that's point one of how I am going to do this, is that I don't actually need to have the mesh loaded into memory. What I do instead is I just take the raw data output from my compute shader terrain generation algorithms. It's like a custom. I have like a bunch of different compute shaders, but like I have a Marching Cubes compute shader. That's the final one that gives me an array of triangle, a couple of different buffers for triangle data basically. And I can take that data, and the nav mesh has like a custom data export, and I can just take that data and give it to the nav mesh, and the nav mesh just knows what that's going to look like. So this is how I move entities around on the terrain without the terrain actually being there, without there being any collision at all. I had to write my own gravity and velocity processor as well. So I kind of wrote my own physics, and again, none of them have collision either. I'm just using math for collision. I have to I basically wrote my own collision system for this too, because the trees and the rocks and stuff, like, how are those spawned? Well, they're spawned with PCG. Now, if you know anything about PCG, you'll know that you kind of need collision in order to sample points from anything, really. If you want to sample points from PCG, all it does, what PCG does, it's just a graph interface that allows you to do a bunch of point computations, like a bunch of RNG point computations, right? And you get a bunch of spawn points. And I wrote my own nodes for that to query that raw triangle data, the vertex index buffer data, right? And what I do is, what I first did is I just had to iterate over every single triangle and check for a line segment triangle intersection, which was very slow. But what I ended up doing was storing that in a spatial data structure, so like a bounding volume hierarchy. And what that allows me to do is really efficiently iterate through only a very small subset of triangles. Because they're spatially stored, I know that I only need to check a few triangles for a line, to do like a line segment intersection. This is how collision works under the hood for game engines, right? They store data spatially, so they don't have to check every mesh, right? And so I have just a PCG node that samples points based off that data. So that's how PCG knows that there's going to be terrain here as well. And so that's how, I have that stuff loaded. Now the nav mesh knows that there's going to be stuff there as well. And these are all instant static meshes, nanite instant static meshes. So they take up very little memory already, right? And so that's just a bit of how I am going to run the whole world. Now I will end up having to do some kind of invoker settings. I'll have to create like kind of my own entity navigation invokers and stuff to like probably, you know, get rid of just areas where there's not a whole lot going on, right? Where there's not really important entities or anything, to free up some memory, you know? So if you delete that terrain, the nav mesh also gets deleted from that, right? Nope. That's what I'm talking about with the custom data. I'm exporting this custom data, like the terrain is deleted here. This is deleted. And if I were to run in a certain direction, I mean, I think I already have a little bit. Yeah, so this side was generated and it got cleaned up. So we these meshes did get deleted. The spawn player, and I mean, the generation follows the spawned player. So the spawned player will always have terrain under them. The spawned player does rely on traditional collision for that. But the entities don't. The entities don't use any collision at all. They use that that spatial terrain data, spatial bounding volume hierarchy, vertex buffers and stuff. So array of pointers bad instead of array of refs. Yeah, basically. And especially if you pack that array before you iterate over it, Healy, that'll be even better. You specifically need to make sure that the refs are next to each other in memory. And so if you do the array dot like reserve, and I think there might even be a, I think there might be like a compact or something function you can use as well. But you should do that before you iterate over large collections. So yeah. Where can I learn this kind of info? You just gotta keep going, my dude. You gotta keep coming up with stuff to work on and keep trying to get through the challenges. I believe having more data will help anyone create better and more polished games. Yeah, I mean, all this stuff I just kind of figured out as I went. There's no secret, you know. It's just keep going, keep working on what you want to work on. Find something to be motivated for. Keep asking questions. Exactly. Yeah. Are you expanding the map? I think I'll actually end up making it smaller, to be honest with you, because this is probably larger than anyone would actually need to explore, while still being interesting. And I do want to leave room for like expansions and DLC or something like that. You know what I mean? Like if I ever like create some new biomes or something. But I'll talk a little bit about like just the zone makeup themselves, because I think that's something that'll be quite different from other procedural games you all maybe have played. Probably everyone here has probably played Minecraft in some capacity, right? In Minecraft, well, first let me say each color on here is meant to be like a different biome. Right now, the way I have it working is I have a PCG graph for each color. I only actually have 2 PCG graphs, and so a lot of these are just the same. This default forest one is that's my default one. But eventually I want to have them be pretty dynamic to where the actual assets themselves can change per zone. And so it's not just like these static, like the jungle biome always has the jungle biome stuff in it, right? Like I want to have like a jungle biome stuff, you know, a jungle biome map, but like some of the resources in there are a little different. Some of the mobs in there are a little different, you know, something like that. And then the zones themselves, the biomes themselves, like in Minecraft, you know, the swamp, the desert, the jungle, you know, the forest, they all just kind of seamlessly blend from one to another. They don't have like a defined area. Well, there is an area that they exist in, but it's not like, it doesn't have a name, it's not confined or anything like that. Now, if you think about a game like World of Warcraft, which is what I am picturing in my head when I make these, like vanilla WoW, a lot of us have probably played that before, right? When you go from Barrens to Ashenvale, you go from this African Sahara type zone to like an enchanted forest zone. And it's a very drastic difference. And it's a very, very cool moment when you walk from one zone to the other, because it changes pretty dramatically. And then the other thing that WoW zones do is that they have these, they're like contained by like physical boundaries. And this is kind of a bad seed to show it, so let's try and find another one. We'll need to find a flatter one so the mountains actually show up. But like a lot of WoW zones are surrounded by mountains, and then there are like specific entrances to and from each zone, which create kind of like a path, like a progression path almost in the world. So this is actually a great example. This is a great example. So I have this dark green zone over here, and I have the light green zone on the left here, and you can see these mountains go around the borders. You can also see me not blending my materials at all, so ignore that part. But you know, the terrain over here is a little rockier, bumpier. It's it got little hills extruded. Now over here it's quite a bit flatter. It's kind of, this is my like meadowsy terrain noise. Progress. I have not touched the terrain generation in so long, but thank you nonetheless. So here's the two zones, right? So this red zone is actually that dark green zone. This one is the light green zone. Oh shit, I actually accidentally clicked on it, which respawns me. Okay, but now I'm here, I guess. Okay, well that kind of messed up. Oh no, it's still there. Okay, so this is the entrance right here. So you see how there's a break in the mountains? That is this white dot right here. That's what I call my zone entrance chunks. And so that's how you'll get from zone to zone traditionally. Now you might notice there's not really a good path from these two zones, you know? And so you'll have to figure out your own way. And I think I see one here. One of the coolest ways is that you just get, oh no, it doesn't go all the way through. But sometimes the RNG caves can just go straight through the mountains, and you can find like a little cave that goes through the mountains, and it's really cool. It's a really cool moment when you find one of those. So here's a good one. Well, there's a giant cave here, but like, there's this zone. And if you were to build a bridge over here, you could get into the next zone. You can also dig through the mountains, and then you can also build up and then back down the mountains as well. So there's different ways to get from different zones that aren't just the zone entrance chunks. Planning to convert it to a multiplayer game. Yep. I am. Would zones interact or have an effect to one or one to another? For the questing, I hope so, yeah. So the AI generated quests I will probably generate. I'll probably say up front to the AI, like, hey, generate a quest for this zone. Okay, and here's another thing that I didn't mention. The zones have names. So if you look up here, as I hover over each zone, the data for it will change. So this zone is called the Caves of Fear, the Dryad Grove of Renewal, Thunder Pass, Runestone Depths, Blackrock Peaks, Iron Veil Hollow, Fallen Star Peak. Some of these names are kind of bad, but these are all AI generated names as well. Void Spire Pinnacle, Serpent Spire Reach, Ashen Spire Hollow. So these are all like trying to come up with like flavorful names to pass into the AI quest generation. And then hopefully these names actually do a better job of describing what's in the zone. Right now they're just pure random, so they don't make sense at all. But eventually, once I get some more zones and biomes going, I'll be passing in all the attributes of what spawned in each zone. You know, like what resources it has, what points of interest it has, what the mobs are, what the terrain is, what the terrain's made out of, and then give that to the AI, and then maybe the AI can come up with some flavorful names. Then that way you pass that back into the AI generated quest. Say, hey, I want a quest, generate me a quest. You know, here's everything that has happened in this zone so far. Generate me a quest for this zone, and then, you know, passing back in all those descriptors of the zone, right? What spawned in it, what the points of interest are encoded into that prompt, right? And so that'll start to generate quests for the zone. Now, you're saying, will the zones interact? Yeah, I do want to like make some chain quests. I do want to make some long quests where you have to quests that go into multiple zones, right? So I think that'll probably be a separate prompt for me. I think I want to specifically determine when that'll happen. I don't want it to just always generate those quests and stuff like that, you know? So like this is like a red zone. I was going to do like red grass and red trees and stuff like that too, just for fun. But yeah, this is a pretty boring seed. It's all flat. You skipped my message twice. Yeah, I can't read every message while I'm trying to talk and explain things. But sorry about that. Hello, welcome in. Welcome in. If you plan to convert to multiplayer game, and then if you're doing random procedural terrain generation, won't those conflict with other players' terrain? It'll be generated on the server. It's deterministically random as well. So if I wasn't using specific CPU processor and compute shader improvements, like I would just run it on each one and it would be the same as well. But I will need to run it on the server for what I'm doing. Yeah, it's a kind of boring scene, but this is my meadows biome graph. This is my meadows biome graph. Here are my caves. So eventually these caves will have fun stuff spawned in them. Right now it's not really super interesting. But eventually I'll have some ore down there to go explore and stuff like that. You know, very a la Minecraft. You know, put some monsters down there and whatnot. So yeah, that's a little bit about the game. Moxie, it's okay. Hey. Okay, we'll try another seed here. So I really like the zones that have like the really tall mountain noise. I think those ones look the best. Just the height differences is drastic. So I like that. What else can I show? Dynamic tree chopping, so we edit the trees at runtime based on where the axe connects. Oh god, we're spawning things. So yeah, I can chop it up high, and I got 7 wood from that, so I got wood commensurate to the amount, the volume of that. And so we can keep chopping, and then it'll keep deforming the mesh wherever the axe hits. And the destructible terrain works the same way. Although it's really just, it looks like shit. It's not really super useful at all right now, so just kind of proof of concepted. I don't even know if it'll work here. Yeah. Let's see if I can get it to work. I think it has to face a certain direction or something. Hello, sir. No, it still doesn't work. Come on, come on. Show the people that it works, please. 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 Okay, it doesn't work. There you go. There's a little bit of combat, too. A little bit of combat. Hello, I just joined the stream. Welcome in. Welcome in. So what I've been working on lately is hauling and colonist tasks. So I had to build these this like kind of area voxel algorithm thingy that spins up these voxels on the fly, and you can store stuff in them. And so I have like all this wood, right? So I can split these up. I can split these up, and then I can just start dropping them in the storage. And then what I can do is I can litter the ground with these as well. So I can drop these into the world. I can drop these into the world. And then you can also have containers as well. We'll put a container right there. We'll see which one he takes it to. But let me grab a colonist here, join my colony, and I'm gonna tell him to haul. So he's gonna now go pick up after me. I'm gonna pick up all that stuff. Oh, why didn't you take it? Oh yeah, I forgot I did the desired inventory settings. So we should probably work more on that. Basically, I can allow, let's do 5 wood in here. And okay, wood is allowed in here. Why didn't you put wood in there? Sir, you do have the wood on you. I guess he'll put it in the container now. He put some in there. Yeah, he put the 5 in there. Oh yeah, because only 1 is allowed. Yeah, only 1 is allowed. So hang on, let me grab. Does he put just 1 in there? Are you my guy? No, you're not my guy. Are you it? Yeah, there you go. Go haul everything. Okay, so now he's gonna put it in the stockpile. That's what I've been working on recently. put one stack. Okay. So I've been working on like the quantities, making sure they're correct, because we have this item hierarchy here defined as to like what can be stored here. That's what it's supposed to define. And same with this one's probably kind of hard to see because my face is in the way. But we have the similar thing here, except it's got actual integers. You can actually set the integers on there. Now I need to do more work on that because it's not the greatest interface. It does technically work though. I do need to have like an infinite setting on there. To properly test. But I guess the voxel areas, they don't have a number on them, and I'm thinking about changing that to where they all just have numbers on them. And then they also, on their inventories, they have the same thing. Their inventories have also the desired inventory setting. So if you want them to keep like potions on them or something, you know, they can. So that is what I've been working on. And before you all joined me, I was making the... I'm going to commit this real quick. So this was... allow pickup world item to... How do I say this? Allow pickup world item to... pick up... To allow pickup world item to handle non-entire item quantities. That's what I did. That's working. That is working. Now, when he puts stuff into the stockpile, that needs to handle the quantities as well. I think that's probably the one place I still need to work on for this. So let's find that function. Handle pickup item action. It's actually, it was store item action, actually. Store item in area. I do have the quantity here. What am I doing with that I'm not doing anything with that quantity, actually. Okay, so yeah, I straight up didn't do that yet. Okay, so put item in area. Yeah, I need to split the item potentially. So I'll say if, let's do UMyItem. Item to store equals item to trade. Yeah, just initialize that. And so I'll say if quantity is not equal to, or rather if it's less than item to trade quantity, I need to split it. So we need to grab the new item, split it into a new item, and then the item to store is what we need to be doing. If should remove from inventory. For pickup and other actions you added here, is it also procedural animation? No. So be stacked all quantity. Yeah, I don't want to remove... Although the item to store, there's not going to be anything in there, so this is just going to fail. Like, that's going to do nothing, I think. I think we can just run live coding there, and this should work. Again, what I'm looking for is when I tell him to go haul wood in his inventory, he should really only put one into the stockpile, into the voxel stockpile. And the rest should stay in his inventory. I'm not getting Twitch alerts anymore. I'm noticing. I need to fix that. The Red King, thank you for the follow. My alerts are broken. Can I test one real quick? Event emulator. Followed. Okay, okay, something hinky's going on here. Something hinky's going on here. Okay, where's my guy at? Okay, yeah. Put that there. All anywhere. Did you actually do it? Here, let me put this somewhere where I can actually kind of see into it a little bit better. Yeah, okay. So that should, yeah, that should already by default be allowed. Haul anywhere. Okay, yeah, so go put it in there, please. Just one. He put the entire fucking thing in there. No, he didn't. Did he just item dupe? He just fucking item duped. Bro, what the fuck was that? Why did that happen? We're splitting it. Split item. Split item. Quantity greater than. So the quantity should just be 1. So let me actually... Okay, can you do that again for me? Okay. Really? You're not going to give me a good stack trace here? You're really going to do that to me? Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so the quantity is 1. Item to trade quantity is 61. Post split. It is a new wood item. The quantity is 1. So what, existing item? Yeah, that we shouldn't have gotten there. We should be getting there. Yeah. Item to store. Yeah, it has the quantity of 1. Added new item. Why? Yeah, why did that, what happened here? Why is that the wrong one? And it did give me 60 despite what this fucking code just told me. Oh, I see it. I see it. Yeah, so actually he didn't copy the item. It's actually the same fucking pointer. Okay, so this actually... Oh, this is tricky. This is tricky. I need to almost like reverse split this. Or how this code works. Okay, so what's happening is when I split item, it takes the current item, creates a new item with this quantity, and returns it. So I'm adding that new item with the new quantity. But here, this is where I'm calling that function from. Afterwards, when we're adding the world item ISMC instance, I'm adding the old item that was split from. That has like what is now 1 less. So that's what actually got added into the world item ISMC, which controls what I see on the screen, you know? But what was actually in the data backing the storage was the correct one. And so what I mean when I say I need to reverse split this, it's almost like I need to change the item to store to I need to kind of do it backwards, where the just based on, I either need to return the new item here, which feels weird, Or I need to do this reverse, in reverse. And I can't set this pointer. Yeah, I think I need to reverse split. I don't know if I want to make a function for that or not, because this I feel like I shouldn't do that very often. This is kind of a special case though. Maybe I should return the added item rather than the Boolean here. So yeah, let's actually just return the Boolean or the item itself. I think that's actually better. I was thinking about an output parameter. I'm like, that feels weird, but I think if we can actually return it, it's fine. Put item in area, returns a pointer to the item that was created, but what it really should do is returns a pointer to the item that was added into the world, because it's like what I need to return for is specifically the ISMC. So if a new returns a pointer to the item that was added into the world, that should be added into the world. It's kind of weird that this understands that concept, but here we are. It feels really weird and hacky, but I think it's what we have to do. It's the easiest path forward here. Okay. We'll have to rebuild. Should remove from inventory. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I also, hang on, stop that. I also need to, if I split it at all, is there a world where I split the item and also, yeah. If it already contains the store, multiple things are going to need to happen here then. B stacked all quantity, stack items, could remove from inventory. Well, I guess that handles the quantity part of it, right? Stack item should handle that quantity. Okay, so I think also here, I don't think we need item to store here at all, actually. Well, no, I do. So we need to put, okay, it built anyway. Okay, rebuild again. Hello, please. Okay, we're good. I might need to grab some more coffee here. I might need to. It's Friday, y'all. It's Friday. 'Tis a good day. 'Tis a good day. I'm going shopping this weekend. Can you guys imagine? Oh my god. I'm only going, the only way my family gets me to go shopping is by saying there's food at the end of it. It's been this way since I was a kid. I remember tagging along behind my mom and my sister with the promise of Mexican food. And I would just whine and complain the whole time. Can you imagine that? Me whining and complaining about something. I used to be totally different. Okay, let's boot up here. By the power of Tim Sweeney, we will accomplish this. Lol, same. Nice. I'm not the only one. Okay, that's good. Das ist gut. Okay, so if this is valid, whoops, is valid. No, wrong one. Is valid. Boom. Put that in there. Put that in there. Get rid of that. Boom. Boom. Okay. Okay, so we can just do this in the test level, which I know is more boring. Well, you know what? It's Friday. Let's not be boring today. We'll do new seed every time. World map 591, 592. Let's go. Here's a seed. Oh, this is nice. Look at this. This is nice and quaint, isn't it? This is a quaint little seed. I like the hills here. This is nice. Now, I did recently find out an issue with the way I'm doing the terrain generation, in that the terrain noise, like the world map is different for every seed, but I didn't propagate the world map offset to the actual noise that I use for the height map terrain. I only do it for the 3D noise, which is the caves. And so, like, for this set of noise, this hill is always at 0, 0. So that is an issue. And I am intending to do some refactors to the system at some point. I'm planning to handle those at that point. Okay, so we're gonna testy test here. Slap down an area there. Join my colony. Show me your inventory. Show me your goods. Show me your wares. Give you 16. There you go. Now you go haul anywhere. Take basic wood. Yep, there's only one there. Perfect, it worked. And you should have 15? Was it 16? I think it was 16 before. So yeah, now the stockpiles are kind of not useful at all. Kind of not useful at all. I think -1 is going to need to mean infinity. So I think that's probably the next change. Let me commit this. This is working. I'll say refactor, or I'll say, let's say fix, put item in area to allow subset non-entire item quantities. Okay. So that's looking good. Now let me open up the Giga sheet here. Oh, hello, sir. Hello? What is oh my god, what is happening? Okay, that's I don't know what button I pressed, but we need to rebuild. Anyways, the Giga sheet. So I think we're good. Do I need to cross anything off the list here? Whoops. Add inventory full, check the forge task and haul task. That's gonna be hard to test because I don't have very many things in the world to do that. I guess I could just change the stack size of mushrooms to test that. So that should be good. Once I get there, right click container, la la la. Drag from target container broken. I fixed that. Okay, so I think probably the next most important thing now that I'm considering the desired item settings, that interface needs to be better because I'm the one who wrote it and I have been fucking up, so it needs to be better. It needs to be better. So let's look at I believe I call it storage settings. Oh yeah, the item incrementer and this whole stuff here. This whole stuff here. Hello, welcome in. Welcome in. UI storage settings. So here's the UI. Looks kind of shit. Yeah, it's because it's not. Why in this UI does it look bad? Well, here's the incrementer. So plus all and minus all, I think that's actually should be the default functionality. Adding all to the children. And then I need like an infinite. I need a way to do infinite. And I think the min for this should actually be -1. And that should be the default as well. Is there a tooltip for this? Can I add a tooltip here? I think I should already have one, right? It says max allowed children. I'll say -1 is infinite. Now it's kind of small. It is kind of small. Oh, I need the actual, like, container, right? Okay, yeah, so this is, apologies for this being kind of hard to see. We'll expand it here. Okay, so why can't it go down to -1? I just changed the min and max there. Minimum slider value, that should be -1 as well. I compile that without breaking literally everything. Can you go away, little spin box thing? It's like this literally did break everything. Okay, so let's go into here. Get value. Uh-oh. Okay, so that doesn't, oops. So that doesn't do what I want. That value. Max. Oh, let's actually, can I get minimum value? Yeah, okay, so that's what that should actually be. That way I don't have to go through that and update it. Yeah, I know. Okay, let's see. Let us see here. Okay, it still doesn't let me do -1. What have I done here? Give me the max between this and the minimum value. Why wouldn't that have worked? Minimum value, -1. Minimum slider value, -1. Okay. Breakpoint, I suppose. Value 0, minimum value -1. Plus -1 equals -1. A max between -1 and -1 is -1, turns out. So why doesn't that work? That should work, no? That worked. The value is -1 here. Well, I guess I was already on the -1. Where is this happening from? Call on value changed. Where is this used from? I can't do like a find all references. This is the decrement button logic. I was just looking at it. It does allow it. Audio fader. There we go. We just call on settings changed. Okay, so let's see what value that gets called with. Okay, you come here. So that does get called with -1. That does get called with -1. So on settings changed. It's probably somewhere whatever handles this eventually. On storage settings changed. Ah. Yeah, this might be it here. Well, let me look here as well. On item. There's so many things. That was for area panel though. So yeah, it's probably here. Hello, please. All right, can I have my data? Oh, it's for call. Let's just do on. There we go. There we go. So handle item settings changed. Update desired. So it might be this function. Is it this function? Oh yeah, because we just removed the tag. Yeah, okay, so I think that might be it. So a remove tag is equal to 0, I think. Which maybe it shouldn't be. Which maybe it shouldn't be. How big is a gameplay tag? 12. Okay, not that big. How big is a float? You're not going to show me? That's fine. Well, it's probably, what is it, like 4 bytes, something like that? Okay, if previous value and new value is greater than, if new value is less than or equal to 0, we just remove the tag. Yeah. If I just comment these out, does it work? We're not saving any data now, you know? We're not saving any data. I think this might allow it though. Yeah, I do still think I need just an overall better interface for this, because I think it's kind of difficult. I need a search box for it too. But there's not enough things in there at the moment to warrant a search box, but I just know I'll need one. I think maybe I should do the checkbox in combination with the item incrementer thing. Am I like paused here? I am. So if I play, it'll yeah, okay. Okay, so let's see. Undo. Okay, now it goes to -1. Perfect. And it stays there. Cool. Okay, so now that works. And then let's make sure that just like that stays updated. Okay, that looks correct. Yeah, so that stayed updated. Okay, so the data I think is probably fine there. That means we're gonna take up a little bit more data for each of these, a little bit more memory for each of these. I mean, let's just do it to where if it's I could just change this to be if it's equal to 0, remove it. But like that's just, to me that's just like such a minor optimization. When this code could just get a lot simpler, you know. So I will need to change the logic to -1 meaning infinite. But I'm wondering if the UI for it should change right now. Let's open up my my UI mock software here. So we have triangle. Can I get a triangle going the other way? Okay, we'll do that. Okay, so weapon. Axes. Axe. One hand. Two hand. Best UI mock software since 1998. That's true. That is true. Axe. And then we'll do fucking mace. So, mace. One hand. Maze of thing. Mace of thing. Specific mace name, essentially. It's not going to be nested that deep. It's a very shitty... I'm actually going to just like undo some of that. But anyways, let's just undo all of that actually. That final line is not necessary. Anyways, so we have that on like the left side, and then like the right side is we have like the minus all, the minus single, we have the box for like the number. We have like plus, minus, minus all, plus all. So that's what we have now. And then I have a version that also, in place of that, just has a checkbox for whether it's allowed or not allowed. But like, I think, I mean, maybe I just have like toggle, like a toggle button up top for like, you know, advanced. You know, and if that's checked, then we go into this UI, and if not, we just do the allowed, disallowed. You know? And like the allowed, disallowed. So this is what that UI looks like in game. That's just this right here. It's just like, that's just like any amount, which I think is that's like a really easy way to work with this, right? So I'm thinking maybe a checkbox like up here to toggle between the two. I need to fix this UI. Let me write that down. Fix area panel UI. Okay. So technically, it's supposed to start as not a stockpile. And then you can toggle whether it is or not. Oh, there's a haul inventory one there. I didn't realize that. Let me think. There's got to be like some easier way to do this. The difficult part about it is the hierarchical nature of it. That's the difficult part. Where it's like you need incrementing one. Like I need it to, because it's like max allowed children, right? Max allowed children. So +1, it does actually, the first one increases all of them, because otherwise this would be nothing, because you wouldn't have any children. But then if you increase more than that, you're saying only one wood is allowed, only one stone is allowed, only one of any straw is allowed, which is like, you would rarely ever want to do that one, right? Like the plus all is probably what you'd want to do. Which doesn't work now. Oh. Why did that happen? Okay, weird things are happening with the UI. The plus all doesn't work when it's less than 0? Is that what I'm seeing? Oh yeah, it's this condition. Yeah. Brah. I just don't know. I just don't know. I do like the idea of an advanced mode there. I think that would be useful, but is there just a better overall UI for this? Where it's like really self-explanatory. I'm thinking of something like completely different, like I think the checkboxes make a lot of sense. Is there like a slider? Do I do a slider here maybe? Where like this end would be infinite. This end would be, you know, not allowed. Would be not allowed. I mean, maybe you wouldn't even need this? Is a slider the right move here? Although I think you would still want the ability to type it in. So maybe it's a slider plus an input spin box like what we have here. And then maybe you can arrow keys here or something. And then that would remove the need for the buttons. But then how does that affect children, right? How would that affect children? Maybe it by default when you slide the slider, and then this would say like, I don't know, would it say it would say like 50 or whatever, you know? And then when does it get to infinity? Like, how do you end? You would have to determine what the max amount is. Yeah, I don't know if this UI would have its own problems, I think. Input plus checkbox ticked overrides input and just disables it. Yeah, I was thinking about that too. That just seems so busy though, because like, I mean, this already looks quite busy, so adding one more thing on here, I did think about that. Like, that is nice to say, hey, this is allowed, this is disallowed, right? But also you can just enter 0 and hit enter. So it's not like it's that hard. I feel like for the complexity that adds to the interface, it doesn't really provide that much. And we still have the same problems of how do the children values get affected? And how does the user say something like, I just want any amount, right? I think those are the the main problems. I want the ability to do infinity, which is like, we technically have that by inserting -1 here, but that's not very user friendly, right? Even if there's a tooltip to explain it. Okay, so I think I'm gonna take a quick break. I think I'm gonna grab some more coffee. Y'all are gonna be stuck looking at my beautiful UI mock here. Yeah, I'm gonna be right back, and we'll continue thinking about this. I think because this is the next most important thing. I think. Okay, I'm back. Thank you for your patience. I have more coffee. Okay. I was thinking input plus checkbox without the buttons. I see. I still think that has the same problem. That's what we were talking about, though. Yeah, it's not, at least it's not as busy. But it's like, what do you do for controllers as well? What do you do for, dude, this interface for controllers is going to be a nightmare. Actually, I should think about that. I didn't even think about that. Oh, this interface for controllers. God damn. Oof. Oh, man. Oh, I guess the slider would be better for controllers, right? None. But hi, hello, welcome in. I'm trying to figure out, for those who may just be joining, I'm trying to figure out like what to do about this interface here. And I guess it's kind of hard to see on YouTube Shorts. Hey Dev, hello, welcome in. But it's like I have this hierarchy, and then I've got these, where are they at? Where are they at? It looks like this, basically. So I have a bunch of these, and it's like I have an input box here. I guess here's the actual incrementer component. So I have the input box where you can click and slide it left or right. So if you click on it, slide it left or right, it'll increase, decrease. You can also just manually enter the number, and then you can increment just this one, or you can plus all, which will increment all of the children because it's a hierarchy, right? Like that. So it's kind of hard to see for the container, but that's what I'm thinking through right now. I'm trying to come up with a better interface than what I have, or if there is one. Elliot, welcome in. Finally. Elliot, you seem like a guy who's great at user interface design. Maybe you can help us. Elliot, I think you love UI. Am I right? I think you love UI. I'm not at all. I figured you're a very like deep in the engine kind of guy, so I figured you weren't into the UI side of things at all. Pineapples, hello. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out like a good interface for this. I made this interface and I already have fucked it up. I keep doing plus single instead of plus all. So I think one change maybe would just be like, maybe it should always increment the children. And then maybe you can just like shift click to increment all. That's kind of just like a hidden advanced or something. I could show that in like a tooltip, so that would cut down on the clutter of the interface. So basically get rid of those. But again, for controllers, it's going to be a fucking giga pain. This interface is going to be a giga pain. But what I'm thinking is like, you know, this one will be highlighted. You hit A, and then that expands it. And then if we do a slider, I think the slider might be necessary for... It might be necessary for controllers. Because otherwise you're not really gonna... Like, this is a slider too. Like, you can click here and drag left and right. You know, so I can do that here. Like, I'm dragging left and right here. Probably kind of hard to see. You know? First time seeing that UI, all the buttons seem so intimidating, to be honest. Yeah, I agree. It's not a good interface. It's not, but it's the problem that it's solving is kind of complicated, so I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to get away with a simpler one. I would prefer at least some sort of advancement. I did think about that. I did think about that. This is what I did think about that, because I also have... So then tell me with your virgin eyes. Does this look better? Does this one look better? Because this is just like an allowed or disallowed, right? Like no quantity information. So I think this is your unadvanced mode, right? This is your simpleton mode, we'll say. That would be funny. Like, that'd be funny if I called it simpleton mode and it's checked by default and this is what it shows. I think that would be a funny way to do it. But the quantities are going to be important because it's going to define, like, this defines how many things can be stored in. There's like 3 different kinds of inventories, right? Like there's a colonist inventory, there's this container inventory, and then there's the stockpile storage inventory, like the world items that are stored here, right? Oh, I missed that one. There you go. So there's this storage, which, like, and it's just for, like, this one is just for, like, how many things should colonists store here, right? What's allowed to be stored here? Have you ever used the less than equal to greater than operator? Is that a UI question or like a code question? Oh, no, I haven't. That's an actual thing. What the fuck? What is this? What the fuck is this demon worship? What is this? I mean, I guess you can create any operator you want to, right? I mean, even that could be valid. No, I guess there is maybe certain syntax you can do. In some languages you can. I think in Ruby you can. You can just create whatever the fuck you want. There are some languages where you can create your own operators. I think Scala is another one. Because you can literally like, I'm pretty sure you can create space as an operator in Scala, if I'm not mistaken. I have to go back to my time at Twitter to think about Scala. People call it the spaceship operator. It's a combination of all the comparison ops with ordering. I don't understand what it would output, though. It's interesting, though. Three-way comparison. That's hot. We got 3 ways in C++. Rust could never. The overloader results in a usable candidate and can be explicitly... Bro, this seems like so complicated. If it's equal... So it returns this value? Is that what I'm seeing? Kind of sidebar, but it's cool. Yeah. I didn't know about this. I'm failing to understand what it actually returns, though. I feel like this is the kind of thing that, like, you would never actually want to use because it's so specific to the language that anyone reading it is not going to know what it means, and you're better off just writing whatever code is the underlying thing for it. Generally, if the types are predefined, like it's a structure of all types that have blah, blah, blah. Internally, it's like arithmetic. You could just do auto operator equals D. That still doesn't make sense as to when I would use that. Anyways, back to UI world. All right, read it. Let me see your thoughts here. A lot better because as a resource management games lover, games like RimWorld and Oxygen Not Included uses checkboxes and it works. If quantity really matters, but optional, I prefer just a checkbox for yes, I want it or not. Yeah, and RimWorld is what I was thinking of in my head when I first built this, right? But I think unlike RimWorld, because my game is an RPG colony sim, I think I do need some more fidelity in the whatever you call this, the micromanagement. Like this was specifically for, like, I originally did this interface and I was like, yeah, just allow or disallow is fine for storages for the most part. But then where's my fucker at? Like, for actual storing things on colonists, like if you want them to hang on to, because like in RimWorld, they have that built-in logic for, like, they should keep some food on them. That's like just built-in logic. I'm trying to allow the player to define that, because you may also want your pawns to keep like health potions on them. You may also want them to keep some tools on them, like a pickaxe or a wood axe, right? So that's what I was trying to facilitate. And it was when I started to do the hauling tasks, I didn't have a way to figure out like what in their inventory should be hauled without this interface of like what's allowed and what's not allowed, you know. If I want to set a specific quantity, then maybe an option to toggle input fields either for all of them or just that. Here's the feedback for my virgin eyes. I do appreciate that though. The virgin eyes are a coveted piece of feedback. Yeah, I think I just want to think about it. Oh god, what have you sent me, Elliot? I still don't understand. I still don't understand. I still don't, like, it says auto. It says auto. What does it actually return? Like, this is, I think, like, whatever this is actually doing, I think you should probably just write the code out. I think whoever comes by and reads this is going to be like, what the fuck is this? And they're going to have the same response that I had. So I think whatever this is doing, you should, because this is, like, this is how I feel about everything in programming language that's, like, super specific to the programming language. Like, just use the thing that everyone understands, right? Which is kind of like why I like React over Angular. Like, React is just functions. Everyone understands what a fucking function is and how it works. Not everyone understands every single API that's in Angular. So you have to write all three ops separate. And yeah, I mean, I think you should write them separately. It's a lot more readable and understandable. And code is read more than it is written. It takes longer to read code than it does to write code because it's read 1,000 times over. Anyways, yeah, I want to think about if I was a controller user. Sorry, I just dropped on the stream. Are you saying React is a boomer library? Or are you saying right now or React Native? How old I am? How far from what? No, I'm not. I was comparing Angular to React. And I was saying I prefer Angular because the concepts, or no, I said that I work in Angular right now, but I prefer React. I used to work in React a lot. And I prefer React because it's built on functions. Like, pretty much everything in React is just a function. And it makes it really easy to understand and really readable and really easy to spin up on. Angular is full of a bunch of different APIs and a bunch of different objects, and you know, it's got like dependency injection, and there's so much more you need to understand about using Angular before you can actually be useful at it. And I think that actually creates a lot of caveats. And don't even get me started. Angular, I do not like it, and I've gone to bat. I've gone to bat on that point so many times. Like, I work in one of the largest Angular Dart ecosystems in the world, and it is pain. It is nothing but pain, and the pain that we are experiencing is specific to Angular, because in React you just wouldn't have to worry about dependency injection. You never have to worry about that in React. It's just not a problem. It's straight up not a problem in React. And all I get from the Angular proselytizers are every React code base I've worked in has been messy, and it's like, okay, what specific to React has made that code base messy? Because the Angular code base I work in is messy. And there are some things specific to Angular that make it so, and then there's some things that are just like, yeah, we just didn't do a good job, right? We just didn't organize it very well. And everything about React is it comes to, yeah, they just didn't organize it very well. I love React too, since it's way less boilerplate, allows you to create your own components and stuff. I mean, you can do the same in Angular, but the template syntax in Angular is a whole other thing. Like, there's like 2 things you need to understand about React JSX templates, and then there's like 10 things you need to understand about Angular, like the 2-way data binding. You can like, you can do parentheses, you can do brackets, you can do quotes, you can do braces. So there's like 4 different things for like just a fucking variable or just a property on a component in an Angular template. And so already it's like in JSX, it's like, yeah, you just need to understand what brackets do. That's it. Or braces, whichever one is. But anyways, we're getting off topic here. I'm getting on my soapbox. Controller users for this. Yeah, I think the slider like this being a slide box, you don't know that looking at it. You don't really know that looking at it. You can always update the UI depending on the input device. Yeah, that's always my last choice. Even back when I did web dev, like I never wanted to, because you can like branch your CSS based on screen size and stuff. That was always my last option. I would rather make it responsive and work for everything first before I go there, but it seems like more work. Exactly. Yeah. So if infinity on this side wouldn't work, and I also don't like I don't know what the cap would be. Why does Control Z? Oh, there we go. I don't even know what would this number be. Like, I don't even know what that number would be. Unless I would have to calculate what the max this storage can fit is of this item. And I don't want to have to do that for every slider, every item. It seems like so much, it's so much calculation just for a piece of UI, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm not sure if you have any references specific to this problem. I would like them, but I don't know that just like general references are going to do anything for me here. So like, I'll pull up a couple references from like RimWorld. So yeah, here's one, and then let's also do RimWorld storage settings. I've looked this up before, you can tell. Yeah, so that's just like the base one. Then I think also like, what, like tailor, it's like the tailoring bill. Here's another interface. Oh, that's so small. Can I get one that's not super fucking tiny, please? Show me more like that. Make kibble, that might work. Yeah, that works. So here are my references. So the most direct one is just the storage settings, but that's just checkboxes. You can't specify like a certain number. The clear on allow all button is good too. Although you could just make an all entry as well, but that would nest it a little bit more. Now this one has the same hierarchy built over here, but you also have some additional information here. But this is for bills. Or the bills are like it's like an instance of crafting, right? And so you can say like, this is like how much crafting should you do? And this is for making kibble, I suppose. So it's like, it's set to do until you have X. Currently have 0 out of 500. And you can specify like which stockpiles to look in and stuff. But I don't have any like crafting yet. And like, I don't, for every single item in my hierarchy, I don't want to like, I don't want to have a whole separate window for that. That seems... Like, first of all, I just don't need... All I need is a number, right? And I guess the issue is the hierarchical nature. I wonder if only child... Let me think about it. Only children have... If only children, only the root, the leafmost nodes have number entries. No, that would be, you would lose some fidelity in expression there. Because if you wanted to have like two, if you wanted to have like 2 of any one-handed axe, yeah, that wouldn't be great. You'd lose that. And you specified the number slider based on storage vessel. Not 100% sure what you're asking or why that would help the issue. I mean, yeah, I can do anything. I can do anything contextually, right? So I can base anything off of what the storage is. But I feel like I wouldn't want to. I would want to. I think consistency is important in UI design. And I think the only thing that the only contextual change that should happen is probably an advanced mode if we decide to do that, and then potentially some controller input. But I think a slider doesn't work for this because of whatever this number would be. I don't know. We don't know what the fucking max is unless I calculate the max potential stored in the storage, which is just like doing that for every single item is so overkill. Right, that's like so much computation for like just coming up with a number. It'd be nice if I could put letters in here or like symbols or something. It would be nice to change this symbol to an infinity symbol. That would be a little bit better. But I think maybe let's do, I think like what I'm leaning towards is doing an advanced mode. And then we get rid of these buttons, the plus all, and we make that the default for these plus and minus buttons. And maybe this just says +1, -1. Maybe we could probably do a +10, -10 as well. But I think maybe what would be better is if you hover over this tooltip and it gives you like, click this to add 1 to all, shift click to, you know, add 10 to all, and then like control click to just add 1 or subtract 1 to this one. Control shift would do minus or +10 to just this one. Right now, it says -1 to all children. But that should be the default, I think. And then for controller inputs, maybe I just have arrows. Because I'm picturing for like a controller, like there would just be like, you know, you would be highlighted on a certain entry, and you know, moving the stick up and down would move it up and down. You hit A, and then that, you know, that expands it or something. And then maybe B for like that does the checkbox, or the X, it toggles it, or you know, some other, whatever that input is. And then the arrows, you know, it'll be like joystick arrows. It'll be the joystick icon, and then an arrow, another joystick icon, and then an arrow. And then so you do joystick left or right to increase the numbers. And then you can do left trigger for shift, right trigger for control, something like that. I don't think I can use a slider for this. I don't think a slider is realistic. They add a pop out, or they use a separated panel sliding it. Yeah, I don't like a separate panel either. That just seems overkill. Like a separate panel for that would make this interface such a fucking pain. Like if I had to click something to do a pop out, even if the pop out showed on hover, like it's still that just, I think that makes the interface more of a pain to it's like I played what was it, Diablo 4 on a controller. And like the actual gameplay was really nice, but managing going through the inventory and stuff was very, very tedious. And I think doing a pop out is tedious as well. It makes it it increases the tedium. This is already going to be a tedious interface no matter which way you slice it. Let me look at my references here, because like this is kind of an example of a pop out. Now this is the drug policy interface. Now they have a take to inventory thing here. This is specific to like usage settings. Which is something I might need as well. Because it's like you might want to define when they use health pots, you know, which would be a very similar interface to this. I mean, if I'm gonna have this interface, this has predefined entries, right? Like these entries on the left are predefined. There's no add button here. Like I could have, like imagine this interface, but like it's empty at first and there's an add button, right? And when you add, you need to select which item. And that's when you select the hierarchy, the item in the hierarchy. And then that's when you can set the how many in inventory you should have. But that you lose the, and then I mean maybe whatever entry you select is the hierarchy level that is shown here. So if you just select food, you can still expand food. But at that point you might as well have the entire hierarchy in there, you know what I mean? You might as well have the entire hierarchy there. You might as well have one that says all, you know? So if I'm gonna have like a usage settings, maybe that's the advanced view. I hate that they drew all over this. I would like one that doesn't have shit drawn all over it. Yeah, there is also this one, but that's like that's the medical one, and it literally only has one thing, so that's not. What is this interface? This is like a mod. Here we go. The Steam ones, god damn, the Steam ones are so low res. That one better. Okay, there we go. That one's better. Maybe you can use vertical and horizontal navigation, but that will prioritize controller users, like horizontal for major categories and vertical for sub. By horizontal navigation, do you mean tabs? And that would be for the, if that's what you mean, I presume that would be for like the root categories. Oh, yes, okay, yeah. I think someone else mentioned that last time I was first creating this as well. And I think you lose information there. I mean, I think you're just making two different ways to do the same thing at that point, and there's no consistency, because like even if you do tabs for that, like now different parts of the hierarchy work different ways at that point. And then I am still going to need like each tab, you know, if the tab was weapon or whatever, right? Like I still need the weapon settings. So like I would need that somewhere on that tab anyways. And then I would have to display that differently from all of the hierarchy under that. And so at that point, it just feels like, and then you'd have to, you're pressing left and right to like, I don't even know if I could fit all of them in whatever interface happens, right? So it might need to be a scrolling tab thing, which you wouldn't be able to see in the hierarchy very well where the thing is that you want. Searching would break. I do want to do a search box here. Searching would be there's just even more things you would need to consider with that approach. I think that just makes it more difficult for me and the user. But in control you have shoulder buttons. I mean, that doesn't change anything. That doesn't change anything. The same problems are still there. I mean, I guess you don't really search with a controller, I suppose. The problem is for mouse and keyboard. I mean, everything is easier on mouse and keyboard, so like you can click anywhere on the screen with a mouse. So doesn't matter if there's shoulder buttons or not. You can always use Q and E, which is the usual thing as well. Like search for controllers not real. I mean, I know like there are attachments for that, right? And like I probably should still allow that. Like there are, I'm sure there's a unless you make a filter pop out with pre-selected options. Not sure what you mean by that. Yeah, if I'm ever curious about the entire scene in UE, I will do that. You have an interesting mind, Elliot. You've got such an engineer mind. It's so funny. Like, it's funny that you're a pilot, but I get it. I get it. You just go so, like, I've worked with so many people like you where they just go so fucking deep on whatever problem there is, you know? And it results in a really good understanding of the system. It's like 3,000 lines in one function. Yeah, render things be like that, you know? Waiting for you to get hyped and work on my engine. You just want me as a colonist, don't you? You just want to be able to order me around. let's say everything with A or everything with one-handed or something like that. I mean, that's the hierarchy already gives me that. It gives me the best fidelity level of that. So having a search box that gives me ad hoc things that are already in the hierarchy is kind of strange. I would think. Or I would think that's just not worth it at that point. And again, we're differing the interface for controller and keyboard. Now I'm kind of on this path of like, let me go to the simple one. There we go. The one I can actually fucking read. I'm kind of on this thought process of like, maybe just make this when you look at an inventory, just make this the simple interface. And then there's probably some usage settings menu UI that I need to have somewhere. Like the player should be able to define when should the colonist pop a cooldown, when should they use a potion. And I'm wondering if something more icon-y, something more so like an interface that I created for, what is this, hang on, let me restart. The tooltip was still displayed. Something like I did for this. It's a little broken right now, but where you can like, I don't know, like clicking on the different, it's like a grid icon thing, maybe. So it only shows one at a time. I don't know. That just makes the interface harder to use, though. You know. But for this interface with the controller, I think like you would have to thumbstick up and down, and then thumbstick left and right to navigate to each one of these things, because you'd have to interact with each one of these differently. And it would be like left thumbstick to go left and right, and then right thumbstick to move these left and right if I use sliders, you know. The checkboxes are easy. What is this? Faction interface. Oh my god. Is that God? Am I looking at God? Holy shit. Yeah, I guess the interface I was thinking of is it's like a builder interface, right? Where you select something and then you build it out in whatever pops up when you select on it, right? If I need something like this, there's definitely got to be some default usage settings, right? There's definitely got to, it's not like, if I have this like simple allowed in inventory, you know, checkbox hierarchy, then there's got to be some like default usage settings of like, they can use anything that they're allowed to keep in their inventory, right? Maybe they can just use anything they have in their inventory, regardless. But I need to be right back. Give me 1 second, guys. Think about this problem for me. Okay. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. We're back. We're back. And we're back. UI. UI. Look, this guy, he's like freaking out back there. So let me start a new one of these boys. Can I start a new window? How do I do it? Can I do another paint window? I can. Sick. Okay. Okay, flashbang. Okay, so I'm thinking about the usage AI. We'll just do that. I'm thinking about something like, if I had a usage AI, I think I would need two separate panels. So I think like over here would be like the item hierarchy. You know, so like, I'll just do the arrows again. So like arrow, 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 arrow. You know, so we have that. And then like, when you hover over one, or when you click on one, what's on the left side is basically this interface. Where did it go? Something to the effect of this. Get rid of that one. Something to the effect of this, I would think. And it's like, well, let me open up that other one, because this one had like presets. Like you can create a policy. So what would that look like? That would be like, this is like hierarchy. God damn. Hierarchy. You know, that's like the title. Get rid of that one. Hierarchy. Then, you know, you highlight one. Highlight one. That's over here. Make that yellow. Make this white. Okay, so this over here is like policy. Policy. And then maybe there's like this there's like an input box here, or like a combo box, I guess, maybe. Like a combo box here. You know, and this would be like, I think at first this would be like default policy, whatever that is for the item. And then I think I do a vertical list here rather than a horizontal one, because I think it would be better for controller support. Because then it's like you left thumbstick, right thumbstick, which one do I use? It gets a little onerous at that point. So I think we have this that like it defaults to default policy, and we have a bunch of these options for like, let's see, what do we have? Put that over there. Oh god, hang on. Put that over here, but then I want to like expand that. Okay. Okay, so we have these things that's like, let's say this is like potions. And I guess there's going to be a lot of, this is going to be very contextual. There's potions, there's food. You know, weapon. A weapon, that one's going to be difficult because it's really just going to be like in combat, out of combat versus certain jobs. I think that's what the weapon is. I'll say combat and certain jobs, and that is that's what goes over here. Food is like, that is maybe there's a health. I still don't know fully what impact food is going to have on gameplay, so that's going to affect what goes in here. But I think for now, it's like health plus out of combat, right? Like you can't. I'm not going to let you eat food in combat. I don't think. I mean, maybe you can, but like you just get interrupted if you get hit. So health and like food levels. And I'll say hunger. Let's put hunger here instead. Hunger. That's what goes over here. For potions, I'm just going to write that in here. Potions is like, we definitely have one for health level. That can be a slider. It'll be like 1% to 100% health, right? And then this will be like, right, little triangle or something. Use it at 40%, right? And these potions are not just health potions, right? Like this could be any kind of consumable, right? Is what this interface would likely be for. So health level, there'd probably be mana level, or really just any resource. A resource, any kind of resource level. Also a slider. So we'll just do the ticks there for. I love this symbol. This is my favorite symbol. My electrician used this on my breaker panel as well, but it's like same as whatever was above. I love that. I love that. Same as whatever was above. Double tick. Health level, mana level. So there's also mood and recreation, which like there might be potions that affect that. So that could be definitely mood, recreation, and I mean, maybe numb in inventory is a thing, right? And then these other ones are what, like use socially or use on schedule, right? Or like use when unhappy or something. There's a frequency slider as well. I don't know. I mean, I'll definitely have some addiction level things. This is like a max frequency. And these are all sliders, I think. These are all sliders. This is great for sliders because there are, well, frequency, I'm not sure if that should be a slider. But I think what we'll do, so like if you change, this will eventually be set, this is set to the defaults here, right? The defaults. Now, oh God. Now when you change any one of these, from the default settings, this changes to custom policy. And now you can select on this. This is a drop down. And so you have these, you will have these entries. This is what I'm thinking. You have these entries for like the default is the first one. Then you'll have like some other buttons. I don't know, maybe at the bottom. Maybe at the bottom or maybe at the top. I don't know. We'll see how much width this takes up. I don't know that I would want to scroll all the way down to like save the policy, because this might be a long list. If it's not too long, I'll put save as policy there. And then they had what else did they have? They had delete policy and then new policy. I think delete, we might need a delete policy. So if this is like not the default, you can delete it. Right. And so if you save it as a new policy, this would be like What would this be like? Use mana pots when low or something. You know, this could be like a combat level thing too. Like it could be a potion that increases your combat level, or like it could be like any combat would be one. Like just the frequency might be like any combat or something. I don't know. Only in combat. There's probably one here for like combat question mark, and then that's a checkbox, right? Only in combat. Or there could be only out of combat as well. So this could be like any combat. One would be like only low health, right? So any ones that you save go into this list. Now this list could get quite long, but I'm not sure if there's anything. It could be a search box. But for controllers, there's no help there. The controller users are just lost in the sauce, right? I kind of like this interface. I think this is good. What's going to be a pain is like enumerating all of these options for each of the individual items, because there's going to be one. Oh God, I can't even I wrote this and I can't even read it. This was certain job, I think is what that said. I save this. Save this as like my inventory usage settings. Okay. And I guess the reason I wanted to think about this is because they also had in RimWorld, they had the take to inventory. So maybe I could, maybe there's also, I probably would want that at the top. Would maybe want that at the top. Boop, boop, boop. So maybe we have one of those components there. Just, and that I think that would link to, that's the same as what shows up in the other interface, right? And it's like, how do I get to this to begin with? So I think what I would want here is potentially a box for the policy name. And the way the policies work on the hierarchy, I would think they inherit the parent if they're not changed, right? But you can edit any level of the hierarchy. Like you could go into potions and go on the health potion. And then like if you change the health potion to a custom policy, it diverges from whatever the parent. So even if you go and change the parent, it's not going to override the child. And I guess that's the same way that like blueprint properties work in Unreal Engine. And I guess I could do this same, like this interface could be for certain jobs, like equip this certain item when you're doing a certain job, right? But I suppose you could have conflicting, for equipment, you could have conflicting things, right? And I guess I would just do what? First in inventory? Because I would need a whole ass like AI state tree thing just for like determining or considering usage. During like the combat one, health level one. Yeah, so the actual mechanisms for how I would use things is, didn't think I would be thinking about this today. Didn't think I would be thinking about this today. Yeah, the actual technical mechanism that uses this is going to be interesting. And I think for any equipment, that's like the RimWorld apparel interface. There's one for these, right? Oh geez, what is this? It's a mod. I can't even understand that interface. There's so much going on. It looks snazzy though. There's so many interface mods. Oh, interesting. I was planning to do something like this, but a horizontal drag. That is a nice interface. I immediately understood what it was doing. Where is the... I want the actual apparel. Is that it? Oh, that's the bill again. Where is the actual... I mean, I think the allowed apparel interface is just the same as the item hierarchy. Yeah, it is. Outfit. It's like an outfit settings. And so they just have separate... So he doesn't have a higher... Like, he has outfit, food, and drug. Like, there's only 3 different policies you can set. Oh, and then how would you edit a policy? I guess I might need 2 of these. Because if I said, how would you can save it as a new policy, but then as soon as you change it, it goes to like a custom one. So it's like updating an existing policy. I guess if you click save as, you could like do another pop-up, like another one of these menus, and where like the top one, there's an additional one that just says like new. And that's like, you just double click A if you want to save it as a new policy. And so if I do have the num in inventory here, should the child override the parent? That's the question. How should the number in inventory affect? Because like, I guess the 2 cases that I'm thinking of that are difficult to reconcile are the one of any child versus one of each child. You know what I mean? Like that's, I can do one or the other quite easily. Doing both, handling both of those scenarios requires the parent and children to know about each other. Because this is like max in inventory. Excuse my writing. And so if this is at a parent tag, a parent item level, what I currently have that to mean is the max of any children items should not exceed 5. $100. Hello again. Hope you're doing well as well. Just trying to think through some UI stuff. Max and inventory, yeah. So the difficult part about this is like, what is it? This is 5. This would be 5 of any allowed children, but it's like, if this is a child item and it has 5 on it, you're saying that like I'm max allowing 5 of these children, not like I want at least 5 of these. And so if the parent is 5 and a child is 5 and then a sibling is like 1, you could have one of the sibling and then only one of its sibling of the other one that's supposed to be like 5. So it's like there's this. And if you wanted 6 total, you'd have to set the parent to 6. So like that relationship is not very easily discernible from this interface without showing the numbers here in a row. I could also I could keep the checkbox here instead of doing the, where's my container at? Instead of showing just the numbers here and having an advanced toggle between the two. I could just have an additional icon here, and that's the advanced settings for this item. And then that would pull up the usage UI. But again, like if I only do usage UI, that does cut down. That does cut down on like the number of interfaces, and I like it for that. But what it would do is a bad job of, I mean, maybe I bake in this part into here, and then I just make this hierarchy much wider. And then I think clicking on that would create like a full screen UI. I think. Maybe not full screen, but a larger one for sure. This is definitely a down the road thing. Like I don't even know how I would get them to use this. And equipment actually has two different meanings here. It's like allowed, like the allowed to wear versus allowed to carry in their inventory. You know what I mean? But I guess like why would you ever want someone to carry equipment in their inventory if they can't use it? Is that a valid case? I kind of, my gut reaction is to say no, just like tie those concepts together to make the interface simpler, to make the logic simpler. And yeah, I can't even come up with a use case for why you would want to keep some gear on a fucking colonist, and if they're not able to wear it. I can think of examples for weapons. Well, there might be certain... Yeah, but like for every reason that you would want a weapon or a piece of equipment on your character, the reason is that they need to use it at some point, right? There's no reason... Yeah, I don't think there is. Like, the only other reasons would be to haul it, which is exactly what is specified by not allowing it here. Just curious what type of genre of games you like most, such as story, competitive, level-based. I am doing a survey. I mean, I like a variety of games. I'll tell you some of my favorite games, and that might give you some insight. I think my favorite game of all time is RimWorld, followed closely by Vanilla WoW. And I've also spent quite a bit of time in like Legend of Zelda games. I spent a lot of time in Civilization as well. So that's like Colony Sim, RPG games. You know, I spent a lot of time in games like Skyrim and Fallout as well. Witcher. So yeah, Colony Sim, RPG, and strategy games as well. I enjoy. I used to go pretty hard in StarCraft 2 back in the day. Warcraft 3 as well. So that's kind of like the same vibe as Civilization. Although Civilization's the turn-based game. And I have been getting into roguelites more. You know, like Hades is a great game, fantastic game. So I enjoy that as well. Roguelites are fun. So that's kind of just like, that's just on the action spectrum. You know, I played a fair bit of Diablo as well. That's on the action. I say the kind of games that I don't like are typically, I don't really like shooters that much. You know, if it's like an RPG shooter like Fallout, I do like it, but I don't like the like arena type shooters like COD, Battlefield. I used to play them back in the day when I was younger, but I kind of got old, you know. So no Valorant or I don't really like super competitive. Well, I guess I like the StarCraft 2. Warcraft 3 is competitive, but I don't like MOBAs. I guess I'll say. Not really a fan of MOBAs. I played a lot of MMOs over the years as well. So I like this interface for the most part. I think the only open questions I have are, how do I edit existing policies? How do I represent the... I guess I'm still stuck on how do I represent the quantity to keep in inventory. I guess for now, I don't need to do this whole interface, but I just wanted to think about it because I think it'll influence how I do this hierarchy here. So I think what I've decided on for my current interface is that I should get rid of the 2 buttons on each row. And the default should just be +all. I don't know what the slider default should be. Should that be all? I think that should be single. But then I think I should just pay attention to the shift button. We're doing it. Oh god, it feels, oh, I'm scared, hold me. You need a tooltip on you now. I think this should be just like +1, -1. Should be the text. We can make it a little bit bigger now. Width 15 or like 30, 20, 25. That looks so strange. Sit. It's a little haggard. I know it looks different when in actual game though, so we'll wait for that to make more adjustments. Tooltip text. Let's just do that in code so I can have the same text for both. Okay, so we can delete those. All pressed should be by default. Yes. So all pressed is really just going to be like is if shift is down, which I should have on my player controller. Which is, that's a player controller, right? Yeah. Okay, so cast to BP player controller is shift down. Not. No, not Boolean. That's if all is pressed. And then let's, on construct, let's grab our references to both the plus and minus button, and then we'll set tooltip on these. That tooltip text. And am I just gonna, yeah, I think it just make literal text. And so this will say something like +1 to all children, shift for this row only. Oh, for only this row? For only, I'll just say for only this. Shift for only this. Well, I think actually, do I have a git is control down? I do. Okay. +1 or -1? I think shift should actually be shift for, I'll say +10, control for only this row. Kind of a long tooltip, and maybe I should put that at just the top of the box altogether. Chill Vibes, hello. Well, I am happy to welcome Chill Vibes into the chat. So welcome. Yeah, control, shift is for +10, control is for only this row. So shift, how would I just like, hang on, now. Let's do a select float here. So if shift is down, we do 10. Otherwise 1. And then I think we want to flip it for that. Let's see if that works. And I need a container. Oh wow, that text is way too big. The buttons are not big enough, for sure. Show. Size box. Okay, should we do 25 by 25? No. 20. I think 25 by 20 actually is okay. But then this... -2. -1.5. I don't know. Do I need the fucking plus minus one? I guess if I hold shift, I should change the text on that, right? Now let's not put the width override on it, so that way it can expand if I change the text. Height override, I do want that though. 20? 20 seems fine. Seemed fine. And so shift changes it to 10. Can I bind to on shift down or something from here? Or I can do input action shift. Wrong one. Event shift. Cool. Started. So I need the, oh, I need the actual text refs, don't I? Yeah, make those variables as variable, okay. Okay, let's put this into a function for like get delta value. That should return a float. And then I need like bool for like for add. It's add or subtract. Get add. Add. No. That, yeah. I think that works. I think that works. And that way, I can just put that into both of these. Get delta value. Oh, and I need to make that const pure. Scooch it over. Okay, so get delta value minus button. So we just do it right there. Okay. Minus text, set text. I mean, can I just do that? Which really, I just need to call the same thing for both of these. Or like each time, you know what I mean? On started and completed. Started, completed. Does that do it? The buttons are bigger. The buttons are much bigger. Oh, and I need to add plus onto the text. And I think I did this backwards. If is shift down. Yeah, I did this backwards. No, is shift down should be 10. That's not right. We need a container. Cast it to an integer as well. That's another thing I need to do. Here. God, it's ugly. It's uggo, but it works, I think. So it doesn't work. It's like backwards. Why is it backwards? Why is it working backwards? The shift is shift down. It's like it's not. It's like this is triggering before the player controller is. When it sets is control down and whatnot. Yeah, let's see which one happens first. Why does this one? Is there any way to make certain ones happen first? Unreal Engine, make certain input action events happen first. Is that even possible? I feel like the answer is no. BP events. I mean, I could just make an event on the player controller, but like that feels like kind of a pain to like, that's just like boilerplate. Just to get around this. It is one way to handle it. It would fix it. What do I want to search? Like input, action, event, priority, blueprint, priority. So I get that there's the context priority, but I don't see how that helps me. And I get that I can consume the inputs, but like, how do I get a different blueprint? It would be nice if I clicked on this and there would be some setting over here for like just to just have a priority number. Right. Like almost like a Z index or something. Oh, how do I want to handle this? I guess I could also put this in a function, or I guess the get delta value would need to take in another parameter for like shift down. Kind of annoying. Not as reusable now. And then this one I would need to do, yeah, I would need to make another function for like set button texts. That would need a shift down. Copy that. Shift down. And so started, that button texts, shift is down, canceled, or completed rather, shift is up. I think that would work as well. Kind of annoying, but like that does fix the issue, I think, if it works the way I think it does. So let's see. Okay, shift, okay, I had the breakpoint still, let's get rid of those. Goodbye. Yeah, that works. It needs like one extra, I think maybe one extra padding on top. That does work nicely though. It would be nice for it to not move so much as well. Maybe the width should be static. Maybe the width should be static. What did I say? It needed one more Z padding. Or maybe just -1, maybe half a Z padding. Or, what, not Z, top. Okay. Yeah, that's better. Still think I think a static width would be a bit better as well. Put the width override back on there. Make it like 35. Maybe just 30. Make it 30. That is not wide enough. Not wide enough. And yeah, the default does seem to be... Oh, it's not all children. Oh yeah, it is. It's by default all children. Nice. Okay, so yeah, the control works as well. And I guess control and shift would work if you held them both down. So yeah, this needs to be at least 35 on each, which feels a little weird. Where's the size box? 35. So I don't think I'm going to do the advanced interface toggle. I should default them all to -1 though, I think. Maybe I need like a slightly more. I need like slightly more on that. Also, don't I put left padding? Okay, let's take the left padding out of it. Oh boy, how I would like to just compile at runtime. That would be so nice. Yeah, it needs like 1 or 2 more on that size box. 35, let's go 37. That's good enough, I think. Good enough. And so Control Shift should be 10 to only this row. But you can't subtract. Yeah, I know. That's all fine. Okay, so I think this is good for now. We're going to delete this logic. Because we want it to be -1. Now, I need to set the defaults. The default is empty on these desired inventory items. So I like need to go through and like add every single one, I think. And I don't know that I have anything that's like set default on here. So for the area, it would be like area building data. Allowed storage settings is set there. Yeah, and I have nothing. I have nothing that sets that. I don't think. Well, no, because they all start as checked. So wait. Where are the default area settings set at? Allowed. Init storage settings. Where do I do that at? Where would I have set those at? I might be passing it in a parameter somewhere. Oh, here we go. I scrolled right past it. There was a get default storage settings. Now I set it to a value of 1. We need to set it to a value of -1. And I think somewhere in blueprints, -1 equals infinite or unlimited. So I need to, somewhere in blueprints, I need to make that change. For the, like, it's probably on storage settings changed. Process leaf tags, remove. I don't think I'm removing tags anymore. Less than or equal to 0. Remove it. I don't think it ever needs to be removed anymore. And I guess for this, I'm just doing the presence of it, if it exists in there. Oh, so I'll probably need to change this quite a bit. And so if remove is false, I just add, but I should just add to -1. Either 0 or -1. So let's change this remove to new value. We'll just do the whole value there. That way we don't need to change this ever again. So new value. Yeah, we don't remove. Item tag out tags find. I mean, I guess I can just add, right? Because that's just going to override. Yeah, it'll be overridden. So we just do that with new value. That actually got simpler. Actually got much simpler. Okay, and then I just need to make sure that when you check the checkbox, it's sending the proper value, I guess. Yeah, so here it needs to be negative. Shit. It needs to be -1 instead of 1. It's checked, we do -1. Yeah, -1 is unlimited. Okay, so I guess let's test this now. So we will test this with an area. Now all the checked ones should be unlimited. Yeah, so we should have unlimited. So he should put all of the wood I'm about to give him. Oh, buddy, I'm going to give you so much wood, you're not going to know what to fucking do with it. Okay. 500 wood. Yeah, how about that? You should put that in there. Is it 500? No, he only put 1 in there. He only put 1 in there. Yeah. Okay, so that didn't work. Okay, so the default. Oh, did I didn't run the. I don't think I run live coding on here. I need to run live coding on the defaults there. He's getting the wood for real. Yeah, he can get that wood. You know what I'm saying? Slaps used car salesman slaps ass of colonist. This bad boy can fit so much wood in it. Yeah, so I think once I get this interface worked out, which I think I have it in a good state for now, I think we're kind of done with hauling for now. Once we get there, so let's restart. Let's give him a couple different stacks. Okay, then my colony. Welcome in, by the way, Adder. Haul. Fuck. Oh, you fuck. I think I need to consider this. So I think I need to consider -1 somewhere. That is probably in my building utils, get best storage. Or it's like desired value, right? Maybe not. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, here. Desired value or desired value equals -1. I think that's the only place I need to change it. And so one of the next big things I want to do next is an ECS system refactor. I think that's probably going to be the next thing that I do. I was going to do like tree chopping and stuff, just so we could get like a full construction loop going. Like we have a food loop. We have a food loop actually. So they can go out, they can forage for food, they can put it in colony storage, and then they can eat from colony storage. So there is some sort of a loop there, somewhat of a self-sustaining loop. But we don't really have a construction loop yet, because there's no way to gather construction materials for anyone other than the player. Haul all those for me. He didn't do it again. He didn't do it again. Okay. Let's breakpoint that. We're not even getting to that code, are we? Oh, because he is allowed anything in his inventory. Hang on. Why isn't that showing then? Okay, so is he not allowed anything? Hang on. Where's get haulable items? It's empty, correct? Oh, you fucking have all the wood there. What the hell? Now, the closest best storage, I think, is what is... Yeah. This maybe is what is necessary. Get allowed item quantity. Yeah, I needed to change this. Okay. Desired value. If running total... Get allowed item quantity. What am I doing here? God, I should really start writing comments, shouldn't I? Storable quantity. This is the desired storage value. So I am going to iterate over each stored item in the, you know, whatever it is. If it's the same type, stored item. So I'm gonna okay, I'm getting the so I'm gonna rename this. This is gonna be like amount currently, amount in storage, or I'll say we're using quantity in storage. So num additional allowed. And so I think I just need to do an early out here. So if desired value equals -1, -1 equals unlimited, just return the entire quantity of the item. Let's write a comment here. checks the desired settings. I'll say counts the quantity of item currently in the storage. Counts the quantity of the item currently in storage. And returns how many more can fit based on the desired storage settings. I'll say will return the item to store. Returns the quantity of the item to store. Type currently in the storage and returns how many. I'll say how many more. It returns how much of item to store and fit based on the desired storage settings. Max returns. I'll say returns max the quantity of item to store. Okay. So did I run live? I don't want to run live coding now. I should probably rebuild. Dude, adding a fucking comment in a header file, probably. That'll probably corrupt a blueprint or two, right? But code is the best documentation, comments. Ideally, you'd have some documentation outside of the code as well. Bombed my Microsoft SDE1 interview today. Oh man, it feels bad. You just gotta treat that as a learning experience though. You know, now you know what to expect, you know what kind of questions are asked, you know what you need to improve on, right? Now you can handle the nerves a little bit better next time. Okay. Okay, he stored all of them. Okay, let's try it again with a different... Oh, these are also not checked now, so let's fix that real quick. Is this the thing with the... Yeah, this has the checkbox on it. Okay, so I'm setting, I guess I can just find all usages of this to see where I set the initial value here. Set check state, yeah. Get checkbox state. Okay, if item contains tag and there's another change I needed to make. Okay, one more time. Okay, so now these are all by default checked and stuff. So let's uncheck wood. Make sure that he doesn't bring it over here. Okay, he did not. Wonderful. Okay, so let's check the actual quantities now as well. So he's allowed... This is actually set to 0, which is, I think... That's the correct default for this one, is everything is 0. And then this one is... Now this should default to all as well. So where is BP container? Building, this should default to all, basically. Is there an event for when this gets built? I mean, maybe I can just do on construct or like begin play is when I should do it. Get allowed storage settings. Get default. Allowed. Design. What did I call it? Get default storage settings. Get default storage setting. There we go. Okay, so set allowed storage settings. Wait. Where is this? Oh, I'm setting it equal to itself. Okay. So I'm dumb. There we go. I don't know why my brain was like, what am I doing? There we go. Just initialize those on begin play. Now, when this gets serialized, oh boy, yeah. So I need to think about serialization. Although none of the fucking buildings are serialized properly right now, so I need to do another fucking pass at that, don't I? So yeah, that's gonna... Wait, okay, so now this is broken because I put a fucking begin play thing in there? Moxie, shush. Yeah, what? So that just immediately broke everything. Are you fucking serious, man? It's showing the fucking... How did that break everything? Like, what? So if I disconnect that, is it fine now? Or no, maybe I need to call the... Oh, I need to call the super, don't I? Yeah, that's why I broke it. I hate that that's not like a default thing. Yeah, okay, that was it. Okay, so yeah, it's 0 actually. Fuck. It's still 0. What? It's not supposed to be. Am I not initializing them properly, maybe? I feel like I'm maybe not initializing them properly. So that would be storage settings here, I think. So if it doesn't exist, it's set to 0. Showing what pirate software won't. Hey, so is Quinn. Quinn69 has been vibe coding the game. And I kind of feel like it might be in spite of pirate software. Wonder how he's doing on that. Yeah, and he has zero coding experience, so it's quite funny. I don't think so let's just I just want to see. I don't think this isn't the right way to handle this, but I just want to see if that does make a difference. Yeah, it does. Okay. So we like, I think it gets in, does that get initialized before the fucking before the building gets built? Like before begin play? I think 0 probably should be, if it's not in the map, 0 probably should be the default. The storage settings widget, get desired item count. So go back. Where did that get called from? Set use incrementer, get desired item count. That's on each individual storage settings item. Which that gets built. Fucking forgot where does that get built at? It's got to be on the entry. What other things do I have here? What other events do I have here on the from user list entry? Wait, no, I'm looking at the wrong thing. It's this one. On tree view. Yeah, here. So this has the tree view on it. So here's my I was like, where the fuck are my functions? Hope you achieve your dreams, man. Keep up the long work. Much love. Thank you. Appreciate that. Get item. Oh yeah, there's this function that gets item children. On entry initialized. There's not like an on entry updated, is there? So we have entry initialized. Then we have this build children. Wait, where does this get called from? Init storage settings. Oh, this gets called afterwards. Right. This gets called after it gets like created. So it gets created with an empty map. Yeah, on show. I mean, I set the fucking list items. You'd think that would like... Should I like, I don't know, clear it out first or something? That way they get like reinitialized with the proper values. No, we want the container. No, it's still fucking 0. Are you using Unity Game Engine? No, this is Unreal Engine. Some of these are -1. So wait, what are the default settings? Wait, hang on. What are? Is it just because those got created? Init. Go there. So is it only the root tags? It is. I only add the root tags for the defaults. Okay, so that might need to change. That might need to change. Do also need to add parent tags. Okay, so I'm going to do that next time. I have to get going and actually get some work done today. Let me send you guys over to... We'll send you guys over to Zed. We'll send you guys over to Zed Shaw.
In order to make pre-tags and code tags and probably 50 other tags or just like it work, I have to add things like extra argue labels, then just add them there, right? If I have to do describe.
He's doing some web dev. So yeah, thanks everyone for hanging out. I appreciate it. I hope you all have a good weekend if I don't see you again. I think what I'll work on next is an ECS system refactor. I'm using a lot of U objects everywhere, and I would really like to see the performance difference. So I'm going to do a kind of a refactor. I've already been working on it a little bit off stream, so I might do that tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see. But until next time, I'll see you guys later.